Ooh, got a haircut, front row. I see you. All right. All right.
Coach, the Fever have the longest winning streak in the WNBA. What makes them so tough to beat?
I think everybody in this league is hard to beat. I think they're playing really well right now. I think they're a balanced team. They've got, I do want to give a shout out to Ari McDonald. I think she's done a tremendous job there. She's found a home and she's really elevated their group. Kelsey Mitchell is, I think, the fastest guard in the league in terms of off the dribble. And she can when she gets going, it's nearly impossible. And they've got, Cunningham shooting, Hull comes in and shoots it, they defend well, and then, Natasha Howard and AB are tough. They're physical, they play hard, and, we've been on a 5-game winning streak too, and you're playing with a little more swagger, you're playing with a little more confidence. I think they're coming in here, one of the hottest teams right now, so we have our hands full. There's a lot that goes into beating anybody in this league. I think for them, we got to handle the physicality and play with pace. I think that's going to be big.
John Davis with the Southern California News Group. Coach, like you said, the Fever, they're on a 5-game winning streak, but your team has won 7 of the last 9, so I would say your team is hot as well. Other than score more points, what do you feel like the team has to do to win this game? Like, what's going to be the difference?
I don't know. I think we've three-point line well. It seems like when they really get going, they're hitting from 3, and that could be from anybody, right? I think we've got to do a good job keeping them off the free throw line, but it cuts both ways. I think we do well when we're hitting 3s and when we're getting to the free throw line, so it might be a battle of wills in those regards, but we've got to be good on our matchups and defending personnel, and at this point, we've played them twice. It's the 3rd time, but at this point in the season, you've played everybody a couple times at least already, and so it becomes a little more of a chess match than checkers in terms of making adjustments. But yeah, I think, both Indiana and us are confident right now, but man, nothing's easy.
Eric Warwar, the LA Times. Coach, you alluded to this a little bit. Obviously, the Fever without Caitlin Clark, but in her place, a number of players have stepped up, as you mentioned, Leah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Sophie Cunningham, as you mentioned, a number of them. But how do you kind of approach that scout when there's weapons really all over the floor? Anyone can step up.
When there's what all over the floor? I'm sorry.
Weapons all over the floor. Anyone can step up.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what makes a good team. That makes a team that's hard to beat. And I think when we're playing well, that's our case too, right? It's I don't know that there's a one sentence answer for that. I think we have to be the aggressors. I think, the more aggressive team tonight, I think with both the way we both play, both teams play, I do think it's going to come down to aggression, like aggressiveness and execution. We've got to be able to run our stuff, and like I said, we've played each other a couple times, and both games have been close, and so I know we're in a dogfight tonight for sure.
Miriam?
Hey, Coach, talk about swagger and confidence. Where are you guys with that at this point, and how have you seen that grow? And dumb question, but why is that important in the W?
Yeah, no, it's not a dumb question. It's a great question. I think we're still, a work in progress in that. I think what has been really cool for me is to see these guys are learning what it takes to win, what winning looks like, whether it's the first quarter or the fourth, what winning plays are. This league, if you look at even the standings 2 through 10, it's just crazy, right? And so no win is easy, and every game's at this point, particularly in the season, every game matters. And so if you're not playing confidently and with a little bit of edge and we believe in what we're doing and each other, then you're not going to win. And so it's been really cool for me, rewarding to see these guys understand what it takes to really win, and to hate losing, not get used to losing. And they've turned the corner with that, which is cool. But I feel like our group's confident, but they're humble. There's not a sense of we've arrived, because we haven't. We have not achieved what we said we were going to do. I think we're having a solid season. but we didn't set out to have a solid season. Like, we want to make the playoffs. I'm not shy about saying that. Will we? I don't know. You know, it's hard, but that's certainly the goal, and we just got to keep pushing. And I certainly think if you're not confident in your work and in your teammates, it's almost impossible.
Sabrina.
Hey.
You guys made a nice signing this week. I'm wondering what it's just like for you to have Keely back around, and what are you hoping for her to be able to accomplish during her time with the Sparks here?
Yeah, it's cool. It's very obviously familiar, having coached her. And, you know, for us, it was an opportunity to bring her in and see how she fits. And, you know, I certainly know what she's capable of. I know kind of how to use her. She's stronger than anybody you could, I mean, anybody. Yeah, I would not want to guard her. Yesterday in practice, one of our practice guys had the moment of like, whoa, just her strength and power. So, you know, she's had one practice under her belt. She arrived late Sunday, I believe. So, you know, we got to work her in a little bit, get her comfortable. But, you know, I'm excited to have her, and she's just a great human being and a great fit for our locker room, too.
Justin, what's first?
Hey, Coach.
Hi.
The trade deadline is around the corner. There is a human element to this where, you know, players can be traded.
Mm-hmm.
It's also your first trade deadline in the WNBA. How are you kind of managing it? How do you keep players, for lack of a better word, focused on the task at hand rather than worrying about what could be?
Yeah, you know, that's not my job. So it's one of those things, and I'm not trying to be flippant. Like, I don't get into it, and so it's not something that I've talked about, brought up, anything. And you know, my job is to coach the players that we have in the locker room and on the court to try to win as many games as we can, and do that by treating them well and all those things. And so that's what I'm focused on. And a lot of that, most of that, if not all of that's out of my control, just like it's out of theirs. And I kind of like it that way.
Cameron.
Hi, Coach.
Hi.
I know Sanaya Fagan had a few big games for you guys on the road, and was really important aspect there. With Cam coming back, can you talk a little bit about what her role looks like, what it's like to have her in practice and in the locker room?
Yeah. How old is your baby?
She's 4 months.
Oh my gosh. I mean, basketball is cool, but that's way cooler. No, don't be sorry. That's awesome. She's cute. I don't remember your question.
Me either.
Oh, Sanaya. Sorry. Yeah, you know, to be honest, we are still figuring it out, right? So you bring a player back of Cam's caliber and her potential. She's still on a minutes restriction. So to be completely candid, I'm still figuring that out, and I don't have an answer right now. But you know, to have depth is a blessing, and you know, as I've said all season long, Sanaya will be a WNBA player, and she's done a good job staying engaged. And it's hard as a player. You play and then you don't, and you know, but she can just control what she can control, and with her work ethic and her attitude and all the things, and she's done just a tremendous job with that. I certainly know her potential and what she can bring, and it's going to just be down the stretch here figuring out how to utilize everybody the best way for our team. Yeah.
We'll go to Infinity TV on Zoom.
Hey, what's up, Coach?
What's up?
Michael Matthew here, LA Live. So, the last game you guys played against the Seattle Storm, you threw out that small ball lineup with Rakia at the 4 and Cam at the 5. How important was it for you to kind of give that look for Rakia so that she can be able to have the space to go downhill? And what did it kind of do to unlock Cameron Brink there in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, great question. I think, you know, Seattle's probably the biggest team, longest team in the league, with Malunga out there and NECA and Ezzy. You know, they're big, and so I was kind of matching up with them with our length. And we just couldn't get clicking, and so it was like, well, screw it, we're just gonna go small and make them guard us. I always say that the knife cuts both ways. We have to guard them, but they got to guard us, and I think it opened things up for us. We started playing with a little more pace and all those things, and I told Cam after the game and the team, like, I think Cam kind of single-handedly turned around the momentum of the game. She hit a couple shots and got some blocks. She got some fouls. Let's not be shy about that, but it did affect Seattle. It did. There was one possession I remember, you know, NECA was attacking, saw Cam and kicked it out. And she may not even have noticed that, but I was like, okay, like that's affecting the other team's offense. And so Cam's presence is big. We got to keep her out of foul trouble. But I thought she single-handedly did that. And then Rakia was just huge all night. She had a couple just huge offensive rebounds. The one on the free throw there over Ezzy to tie it. I think that was in double overtime. I don't know. That all runs together, but you know, Rakia was great for 50 minutes or 47, I think she played. But you know, putting her, you know, she's also fearless. So it was like, okay, you're guarding Malunga, who's 6'7", and she just kind of said, all right, cool. So I like that fearlessness from her, and she's shown a lot of confidence and grit down the stretch here.
Hey, Coach DJ from Infinity TV. Final question from us over here. Last time we spoke to KP, she talked about protecting home court. Is there any philosophy that you've expounded on with the team that you can talk about and the importance of protecting home court tonight?
Yeah, I mean, a couple things. One, I'm not going to buy into the narrative, and I'm not going to let them buy into the narrative that we're not good at home. Like, just quit it. Quit thinking about it. Change it, right? Like, don't give yourself a hook to hang an excuse on. I think, secondly, you know, we've talked about what things can we control, and there's a lot of distractions, and LA is LA, and we love it, but there's a lot of things, and so trying to minimize distractions, and you know, we're better. We have a better record on the road. I think it's because they're just a little more locked in, and there's no distractions, and so what can we do to kind of control that and help them be their best version of themselves at home? But I'm not gonna let anybody use an excuse. We've got to be better at home, and hopefully that starts tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. I'll see you after.